Please make it loud for Josh Johnson.
I've been very excited to come back to Asheville. Mainly because, I'll be honest with you, all right? This is as a visitor, this is outside looking in, I'm telling you. Y'all's food has no business being as good as it is. This is crazy. I live in New York and I'll meet people who are from Asheville and they'll tell you which 9 places to go. And usually when someone gives you a list of places to go and the list is longer than you could possibly visit, they're like, okay, here's 9 things, but these 3 are what you really want to make sure you don't miss. The others are really good, but these 3 are the best. Don't let yourself miss out. And I went to ask my friend, we got 9 recommendations, and I was like, so which are like the top 3? And they were like, top. I gave you 9 because you should go to 9. I'm only here for a day. How am I going to make it to 9 places? They're like, you need to make time is what you need to do. Y'all have a thing here where because the food is so good and some people aren't expecting it, you get people who just involuntary. You're at a restaurant, you're enjoying your food. It's good food, but you're used to good food. And then you hear someone else who's, I guess, used to gruel. Because then they taste the food and they're like, oh. And those sort of sounds, I think they're meant to be involuntary. It's kind of like a laugh. It's like if you try to force a laugh, you look insane. But if somebody makes you laugh and it's genuine, it's organic, you can feel it, it's a beautiful thing. When someone cooks something so good that it makes you just go like, wow. You can tell a difference when somebody's cooked something nasty and you try to keep up appearances because these are like your new in-laws or whatever, and you don't want to make a bad impression even though you didn't cook it, you know what I mean? But you want to be polite, and so you try it and you're like, oh, like you can't even remember how to do a decent one. The impression of a is so bad when it's not good. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've tried to fake an before. I did. I was at a friend's place and I hadn't seen her in a while, and then she was cooking. So when she cooked, I was like, that's nice that someone would make me a meal. I'm gonna at least try it. It was okay. She had made these like barbecue pork chops, but then had put them into like her own version of a pad thai. Thank you. There's a time to experiment, and then there's a time to be regular. Master being regular before you go off into your own realm of foods that don't exist like that. Like, she didn't try to recreate like an actual Chinese dish or something like that. This was just something she was like, yeah, I just threw something together. And it's like, don't ever throw again. You need to be pitching underhanded the way that you... This is crazy. Okay, so... The plate had 3 pork chops on it. And it had, the noodles and some veggies and stuff. And the sauce was great, but this is the thing. A lot of people like to hide behind sauce. All right? There's a lot of culinary cowards out there. Terrified of their own cooking. So they're like, let's lather it in sauce. Let's basically make it crunchy or chewy sauce. And so she had the sauce in there, and I don't know how she did it. I don't know what happened. But one of those pork chops was raw. And this is the magic trick of it. I watched them be on the grill. I watched it happen. I watched her put all 3. I watched her flip all 3. I watched her take all 3 and put them on the plate. And then one of them just protested. One of them was like, no, being murdered was bad enough. I will not be cooked. And what do? I got this plate of food in front of me, and you know, if you go to somebody's place, and you're like, oh, I just ate. I just ate. Now that gets you out of a little bit of trouble. You still gotta taste it, whatever it is, but no one expects you to finish it. You just ate. And then if they ask you what you ate, you come up with like 4 or 5 dishes. Show them you have no room in your stomach. But I had said I ate before I got there, which was true. I was never gonna finish this whole plate, but I bit into the first pork chop, and it was halfway decent. It was a little tough. It took more chewing than felt comfortable or right. It didn't feel like eating so much as training my jaw. It felt like one of the only things missing from those Rocky montages. Like he need to run up the stairs, he need to punch the meat, but then he need to chew this. And then he'll be able to take on that Russian one that gave him so much trouble, gave him all the brain damage. You remember Rocky IV. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I gotta bite each one of these, because then that looks the messiest, and then that looks like I at least gave it a fair shot. Also, taking a bite out of each one ensures she'll never do this to anybody ever again, because she can't repurpose it as leftovers. Because the only thing worse than nasty food is nasty leftovers. That means that somebody saw what they cooked and decided it wasn't a war crime, and then put it in a refrigerator and then microwaved it. Because you know how bad food's always better after being in the microwave. And so I went to take a bite of the second one, and it was somehow just as chewy as the first one. But that second one was, you could tell, I was like, man, this is gonna be the thing that takes me out. This is raw meat. This is raw meat with sauce. I don't know how she did it to me, but she really gonna kill me. This is an op. And so then I took a bite of the third one. And the third one actually, wow, Goldilocks, because that one was not bad. That one, and maybe it took less chewing, or maybe my jaw had just been conditioned to the point where this third one was like easy money, because I was used to eating raw pork chop and eating tough pork chop. Said all that to say that she had the nerve. Okay. She's a good person, but she had the wherewithal, which is insane. She had the wherewithal to ask me how it was, even though she could see my eyes, because I was giving it away. I was tearing up. I was eating raw meat to be polite to you, my friend. You know, I'm not doing what I want to do. What I want to do is, why would you do this to me? Why would you, after the first bite, why would you do this to me? I thought we had a real friendship. Why would you try? Who put you up to it? But I was like, she's like, how is it? I was like, already my eyes are too wide for me to lie. How is it? You see how it's not believable? No. It's nice to be here under what should be pretty good circumstances. It seems like, we've heard this before, we've heard it many times, so we don't know, but it seems like, but we have no full proof, but it seems like, it seemed like a few times, but we're almost sure this time. It's been on the news a bunch now, so it should be true, but also that doesn't mean anything. And so this time it should be for good, but also it gets said that it's for good every 2 days. But we are almost certain now, because everybody flew and everybody signed the thing, that the war is over. Yeah. That, I really want to believe it. I want to believe it so bad. They even flew to Versailles and signed it at Versailles. I didn't know Versailles had special powers like that, that like, if it happened in Versailles, it's gotta be true. But they even flew to sign it. And when he was walking out, even Trump was like, they signed it. No takesies, backsies. They signed it. You know, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the war as we know it is over. Remember the war that wasn't a war? We went to a lot of trouble signing a whole peace deal for something that wasn't a war. And it's not technically it's a peace deal, but technically it's this like memorandum of understanding, which basically means like, all right, I'll stop if you stop. All right, but if you stop. I won't do anything if you don't do anything. Okay. It's a lot like that moment. This entire war feels like a bar that I went to one time where I sat down and I don't drink. I do shows at bars, but I don't drink. So I'm just there very aware. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel great all the time. You know, there's nothing like, at least if I drank and then I had a bad set, I'd be like, I think it went okay. You know, but no, being stone cold sober, you're like, they didn't like me. And I remember I was doing this show, I got done, I'm waiting for my friends to finish too, because my friends also went up at the show, and so I'm watching them in the background, and in the back, these two dudes started fighting. And they were two dudes that nobody wanted to see fight, because one, I don't like to just see people fight out of nowhere. If a fight is already happening, I will be nosy, yes. But if it's just like two people talking to each other and then like things get violent, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But especially these two dudes, you did not want to see these two dudes fight because neither one of them looked fit. Like this is about to be a very sloppy fight. This is about to be devastating. Because they both had that thing where they've been thinking about fighting for a long time. And then they finally met each other. So then they get to fighting. And when I tell you that two people who don't know each other but were so perfectly made for this moment got winded at the same time. Both these men lasted about 6 punches before they were like, one dude, first of all, they had no distance management at all, so they were missing a lot. It actually took a while for either one of them to connect at all. Their first few swings were all missing. Okay. He went to kick this dude, right? And he even took a stance. And when somebody takes a stance like that, in your mind you think, uh-oh, this person knows how to fight. This person trains. Both of them were like middle-aged men and both of them were not fit. And so it never occurred to me that if somebody takes a stance, maybe you're like, whoa, this guy trains. Or new options after I saw this. Wow, this guy used to train. This guy has seen a bunch of movies, so he knows exactly how to stand like the dude in the movie. But that's where the relationship between what happened in the movie and what's about to happen completely ends. Because this dude took a stance, right? And then he went in for the kick, and he even kicked right. Like he even kicked, and the follow through looked good and everything. The way he gave himself away is that he made the noise. He made the noise early. You don't need the noise, by the way. That's how you can tell when somebody doesn't fight. You don't need the noise. You actually don't. That thing is an old. You don't. That's not real. Nobody's actually doing that. The only people that do that are in the movie, and the only people that do that in real life are copying the movie. Like, that's not... Okay, so this is a piece of film lore that I have been told. I don't know how true it is, but basically way back in the day, when we're talking like some of those early, big, mainstream kung fu movies, like Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee was doing these scenes, but he was doing them with like real technique, and because he really knew how to fight, he was over here... That is real. Like, when you hear somebody... that they're boxing you up. That's all you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear them whispering a beat down, right? So if somebody's boxing, like, that's a real thing. But then because he's so quiet and because the moves are like so unfamiliar to the audience, the director was like, hey, you're gonna have to give us something else so we understand something's about to happen. Like, we don't even know that's your power shot because it's so fast and you're just like, and then it's over. And then I don't know if they told Bruce Lee to do it or if it was Bruce Lee's idea to do it, but he was like, Kia! Like that, like that's not a real thing. And also, he even when he did in the movie, he did it while he was doing the thing. Kia! You know what I mean? Like, Kia! You know, this dude just did a whole Kia! But like hadn't moved yet. What are you doing right now? Like that, you missed it. You hit key and you missed y'all. What's happening? So then the dude went to kick the dude and he was like, Kia! And then kicked later. I thought I was having a stroke. I was like, surely this man didn't make the whole noise and then move. There's no way. This man went, Kia! And then he went to kick and he kicked right, but he just completely missed. This man spun in a circle and landed right back where he was and looked dizzy. How dare you kick in public like that and just do a pirouette? Like, the man, Kia! No, this is insane. And then dude realized this is opportunity. This man got himself all confused. He spun in a circle. He's dizzy. The room is spinning. This is where I take my opportunity. So then he geared up. But like even the way he was trying to throw this uppercut doesn't make any sense. He tried to throw... He tried to throw the uppercut like a cartoon because rather than just being here and then punching up, this man had... This man had his fist up here and was really gonna make a whole U-turn up. This dude went, and then he swung, and then he missed, and then he hit the wall. This man punched the wall so hard, he had to have busted something. He punched the wall so hard, and then he did a thing that like we all do at some point. I don't know what this is. I used to think I was alone until I saw him do this thing. He punched the wall instead of the guy he was trying to punch, and then immediately he just put his fist in his armpit. Why do we do that? Like that's a crazy thing to do. That doesn't heal anything. It's like I need to hide it real quick because if light doesn't touch it, it'll heal fast. I only broke 3 knuckles. And then this dude sees, right? He sees that this guy is like holding his fist in his armpit. And so he decides this is his chance for another kick. But he learned his lesson. He didn't go for that like mid-height kick again. This man went for a low kick. He was gonna kick him in his calf, really take away his mobility, right? And so he went to kick him in his calf, and he really reared back too. This man reared back like fully. He hit the full kick, right? And then something must have gone wrong because right about here he went, ah! And so right about here he went, ah! And then I know his back locked up because he didn't move. He didn't look like a balanced guy. So that's just frozen. That's just you locked in, right? Ah, ah, ah! So you had my man right here, and you had the other man, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was basically looking at what the U.S.-Iran war would look like. Because to a degree, I understand what some people are saying. They're like, this has been an embarrassment on the part of our tactics in war. The fact that we have all of these bases, all of this money, all of these resources, and Iran fought us off with some like drones you could get at Target with some bombs strapped to them. And I don't know. Obviously, the easy thing to do, the easy thing to say is just that you want peace. It's a human thing to do. I just want peace. I just want everybody to get along. And sometimes you run into the unfortunate truth of that is just not the world we currently live in. It is delusional to be like, oh yeah, everything is going on, yeah, but just like throw some peace on top of that. And it's like, what is happening is why we don't have peace. And so you get this deal. This deal, by the way, which comes from us needing a deal after we attacked them again. We had already hit them before. We already, like every time Trump's been president, we've hit them a little bit. And then we went in because we were feeling ourselves after Venezuela. You remember Venezuela, that sovereign nation where we went and got their president on a random day? Everybody was confused. World leaders were confused. He was confused. He over here sitting in jail like... And I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying on his own, through his own actions, in a different timeline of justice, that he doesn't deserve jail. But just the way that we did it, I'm sure felt weird. Do you know what I mean? The way that we were like, yeah, let's go get him. He's a terrible criminal. And then we did, and then the people of Venezuela were like, all right, so, thanks, I guess, but what's the plan now? And we were like, oh, y'all figure it out. We just grabbed him. But then we needed a new plan. We needed something because we tore up the old plan. You know, Obama's Iran deal. Trump pulled us out of Obama's Iran deal because he was like, I can get a better, we don't even need to do this deal. I can get a better deal. I can get a better deal. I'm a deal maker. Look, y'all don't even know who you're talking to. I can get, as far as deals go, you wouldn't even believe. Have you read the book? Because I did it. I'm the Picasso of deals. I'm a dealer. I'm surprised I don't work at one of my own casinos. I deal so hard. I'm going crazy right now off of deals. I got deals like y'all. That's y'all's problem is y'all don't understand what a deal is. You know, we're in a deal right now. You didn't even know. I'm just that good. See, look, watch a master work. All right, sick of y'all doubting me. And plenty of people, you know, not across the aisle as in an equivalent number, but plenty of people, no matter their like political party, were like, okay, but what is your plan? What is your deal? And he's like, I'll get to it. And then they were like, well, you already tore it up, so you better come up with one quick. And he was like, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. And He didn't have a better deal, but he believed he could get one. He was mad too whenever people brought up Obama's deal, because he had to tear up Obama's deal just to get us in this situation. And so everyone reminds him of Obama's deal, so he's living under the shadow of Obama's deal. It makes him very mad. Yeah, it just feels like something he did for his own ego because he didn't like that Obama got a deal. He didn't like that Obama got something that he didn't have. It's like why he's been so obsessed with Nobel Peace Prize. He can't stand that people look back at Obama as like a great president, and it takes a toll on him. It's wild to me. He clearly thinks about Obama so much. He thinks about Obama more than I think about Obama. You have to understand that this man hates Obama so much that he thinks about him more than someone who was like, oh, that's the first black president. He thinks about him way more than I think about Obama. It's wild. Like, okay, a good example. Okay, do this for me real quick. Every single one of you in here, close your eyes. Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Some people are still peeking. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Okay, so when you close your eyes, it is black, and Trump hates that. Like, he hates that. He hates that so much, right? And I think that, like, obviously we're normal people. We're normal people. So when we close our eyes, we see regular black. But I think when Trump closes his eyes, he sees Obama. Like, he must see Obama every time he closes his eyes, which must be why he's so upset all the time, because he's sleeping so much. He sleeps more than he's supposed to be sleeping. There's an 8 hours in the day where you're supposed to see Obama, right? And then there's extra time as you get older. You need more naps, so you see Obama more often. But, like, he's so mad that he sees Obama so much, and he's like, I can't let him have anything. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. And anyway, he pulled out of the deal because he was like, that's Obama's deal. I refuse to be a president under any deal made by Obama. I'm going to roll back all of his policies. I'm going to roll back all of his progress. As much of it as I can get away with, especially if I have Congress on my side, I'm going to roll back as much as possible. So I'm going to pull myself out of this deal. So he pulls out of the deal. And people are like, what are you doing? And he's like, you don't think I can get a better deal? You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack? You don't think I can get... You don't even know who you're talking to. You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack Hussein? You know we love capitalizing that Hussein. That's his favorite thing to do. You don't think I can get a better deal than Barack Hussein Obama? Come on now. I'm Trump. And then people in his cabinet were like, we know. We know, which is why we're asking. What is the plan? Why do you think you could get a better deal? Do you have a better relationship with the supreme leader? Do you have like a better, forward view of how you're gonna progress relations? And Trump was like, I'm white! You don't think I can do it? I'm white! And then here we are on the verge of a deal that was kind of hard to believe we got. I don't know, I think, but maybe not. He said it was over like 16 times. I think Trump's approach to war is like my approach to war. If I was president and we were at war, I'd be like, today too? We gotta do the war every day? Y'all need to chill. That's exhausting. Because he's been trying to end it because the war is not popular. The war is causing us pain here at home as Americans. It's also putting our military, our service men and women in danger. And it's not putting them, this is the other thing, because you can talk about every conflict the U.S. has been in and go over the merits of engaging or not, or what the plan even was, what we told the public versus what was actually done, what the actual missions were, right? But I don't think that in my adult life we've seen something so quickly and so blatantly be pointless in our faces. Like, there are a lot of people that have a lot of different theories, and some people are even saying that it's because things with Venezuela had so little consequence on the world stage, because we went over there and grabbed Venezuela's president and kind of just like went about business as usual. That's a wild thing. Like, that was their president. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you ever worked at like a grocery store or something, but imagine somebody kidnapped the district manager. And then it's just like, as you were. Like, it's... I think he's supposed to be here for us to be as we were. That man's so confused because right before we went and grabbed him, he was offering up deals left and right. He was like, look, I'll do anything. Just don't come get me. And they were like, oh, it's breaking up. We can't hear you. They were on the way to go get him. That dude literally was like, I'll give you all the oil. I'll leave. I won't even be Venezuelan anymore if it means you won't come get me. And they were like, oh yeah, we can't. I think he's right in the other room. We can't hear you. Can you check for a better signal? Can you maybe lean towards the window? Grab him. And that thing sort of went without real consequence. Like our allies were upset. A lot of the nations of the UN were shocked, but it was also like, what were they really gonna do about it, I think was the sentiment. And then on top of it, you don't have a figure that has a sort of like love of the people. You know, you're talking about Maduro, so it's kind of like, oh yeah, y'all can go grab him. Like that was in the mind, I think, of a lot of people, because I have friends who were educating me on the whole thing. I really didn't know about it, and they were like, yeah, Maduro was so terrible that, yeah, sometimes the enemy of my enemy sort of thing. Like they were like, yeah, go ahead and get Maduro out, but also we will need a president, just so like y'all can't just grab the president and then be like, figure it out for yourselves. And so then we entered into this whole thing with Iran that was at first not a war. Remember when it wasn't a war? Remember when it was like a conflict? It was like conflict, and then it was a skirmish, and then it was an excursion. Excursion is, y'all, that's wild. Excursion's a cruise. That's a cruise. Y'all cannot say excursion for war. That's insane. You gonna have me thinking you had a totally different weekend. You tell me about excursions. If you told me you just got back from an excursion, I'd be like, yeah, you look tan. Like I can see it. No, I've been looking forward to an excursion myself. You know, I need a little break. I can go excurse. And then there was a deal, but then there wasn't a deal. But then there was. But then there wasn't. But then there was no need for a deal because we weren't at war. And then we were winning the war. Never forget we were winning. Did you feel like we were winning when we were winning? Or did you just feel sort of confused? And the entire time, you know, I was sitting there wondering. I was like, how do you get yourself out of this one? This isn't Venezuela. You're talking about a country with like 90 million people. You're also talking about a country that's far more advanced and sophisticated in military operations and its understanding of us than Venezuela was at the time. And so what do you do? What do you do? Because then every time you come out and say something, Iran also comes out and says what you're saying isn't true, but you need them to at least be quiet to calm people down for them to believe you. Cause like he would come out and be like, hey, we had a great talk today. We had a real good talk, and I think things are gonna wrap up soon. And then Iran would tweet like I've never seen. I don't even really know what account it was, but Iran would just tweet, like it wasn't at Iran. It was like a couple different accounts that were like privy to the information were like, nobody's talked to us today, so I don't know who he's talking to. You must feel so gaslit as Iran to be watching our news, and then he's like, yeah, we almost got this thing wrapped up. I got them right where I want them. And then everyone in the room is like, who we been talking to? No, it's wild. Because then he would be talking like extra reckless about what he was going to do next. But then it wouldn't happen. And so what do you do with that? Like we all carried this weight. I'll never forget that Tuesday that he was like, tonight a civilization is going to be... Woo. What? What? With your thumbs? That's quite, somebody's gonna put in a history book that the president was like, tonight I'm killing everybody. And then look, thank God, like I'm being genuine, it didn't happen. And that's not to say that these strikes, that these attacks, there aren't people killed. I'm just saying that thing didn't happen. And so now you have this 14-point deal where Iran promises to do a bunch of stuff that it seems like they already weren't doing that much. And then we give them a bunch of stuff that seems pretty good for them. And it's just sort of wild. Like, if you can just bear with me for a second. It is why I've been growing up and living here my entire life. I have watched politicians come and go. I've watched rhetoric change, policies change. And I don't pretend to know everything about foreign policy, about diplomacy, or about international laws. I find it like breathtakingly astounding that today of all day, like when in the history, they're gonna point to today, because I think that only with distance can you understand the irony. It's got me like shaking how from the inception, the idea of an America all the way to present, with us being a superpower the world over, and with us saying that everything we do, we must do, and everything that we don't do, we can't do, or we can't do yet. It is mind-boggling that on Juneteenth, Iran is getting reparations. Like, just... like... Y'all know what day it is. That's what's Juneteenth. And look, I want everyone to do well, okay? Wow. I thought we couldn't afford it. I thought we couldn't afford, and I'm not even, look, this is the thing. I'm not even talking about like me personally. I'm like, ooh, that should be my money or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just thinking to myself, like, the natives didn't get a deal cut this quick, this way. Like, that's up until now, every time someone demanded restitution for something that the United States had done to them on our soil or abroad, we've been like, yeah, I hate it for you. Ooh, maybe in 50 years? Well, I'll be dead in 50 years and this will be more complicated. That is the point. Breaking off. And look, don't get me wrong. I understand that Iran is not getting a $300 billion check. But all the systems in place and all the planning is going to be to give them about $300 billion in essentially restitution, lifting sanctions. And I don't understand business. I clearly don't understand politics that well. But I think, if I'm being honest, as black people, we really just need to find what our Strait of Hormuz is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the only way we're gonna get our reparations if we just Strait of Hormuz the US. Iran already gave us the playbook. Just be like, look, listen. The black delegation has met and we've decided that until we are properly compensated for centuries of injustice and forced labor, no more music. How about that? How about no more music? No more music at all. We won't even be humming, okay? You won't even get any, no. That's done too. You won't even get a passing tune. It's all on you now. Go ahead. Let me see. Go ahead. Play the guitar dry. Play it. Make that guitar sound ashy. I want you to. What will it be? What will it take? You know what? Until we've been reconciled with by the U.S. government, we're gonna boil the chicken too. We're gonna boil it. Yeah, no, I'm talking just straight boil, like just hot water. Yeah, no. When we cut our chicken, you will see veins, okay? Yeah. No, we were shielding y'all for too long. The chicken is an animal. Some of y'all didn't even know that. Some of y'all had your chicken fried up, baked up, roasted up so good, you think it's just chicken. No, it used to be something. Yeah, that's it. No more seasoning anything but crab. I mean, you gotta season the crab. That's just, Jeremy, like legally, yeah. But like, no more. No, that's it. You had your last little bit. And then the U.S. will do what it did to Iran. The U.S. will be like, we don't even need... we don't even need... You think you're so important, we don't even need you, though. We don't even need you like that. Go ahead, keep your music. No, keep it. I don't even want it. Yeah, I like being alone with my thoughts anyway. No, sometimes I just like just sitting and thinking anyway. We don't need your music. And let like a couple weeks pass. Because this is the thing, we work on reserves. One of the things the U.S. is really good at doing, especially when it commodifies something, is it's good at having a cushion. There's a cushion so you don't feel the pain right away. You know, oil prices can fluctuate. Goods can take a while to ship. You even saw it in COVID. You have supply chain issues, but you have this buffer. You have this like 3 months sometimes where a business stays completely normal, even though the world is falling apart. I'm sure they try to do the same thing. They'd hold out for a while. And then after like a couple months, the U.S. would approach the black delegation and be like, hey, look, okay, listen, all right, I understand you're upset, and we're working on terms, we don't have them yet, but my daughter does have a wedding. No, look, my daughter has a wedding, and please, I only got one daughter, she only gets married once, can you please, no, y'all gonna have to clap. You're gonna have to clap, stomp, whatever. And the U.S. will be like, we tried. We tried, it doesn't work when you're not there. We keep clapping on the 1 and the 4 and the 7. Every time my nephew tries to beatbox, it just sounds like applause and spit. Please. Nah, we're holding strong. You don't get any more. You didn't appreciate what you had. Remember, the strait was open. The strait was open before any of this. It's like, it's like slapping somebody that forgot they had a gun on them. The strait was open. And then you did this, and then they closed it. And then they're like, okay, you know what, fine, we don't need you anyway. We don't need you, nobody worried about you. And then they go off. 4 months pass. And come back, and they're like, oh. Look. We don't have a deal yet. We don't have a deal in place, but these are extenuating circumstances. And we do need somebody to sing because my grandmother died. All right. Grandmama died, can you please just come say, give it some soul. Just give it some, make us feel like she went to heaven, you know? Like, just, please. No. Then maybe, who knows? Maybe one day they come back and they're like, look, okay, we did have an extra $300 billion we didn't tell you about. Please, I can't eat any more boiled meat. It's stuck. I've been constipated for 2 months. I think I'm gonna die soon, please. Yeah. And I'll even say this. I think that now we're in this stage where he has become the president that he said Biden was. We're like, it's weird, okay? It's weird because like, he was like, hey, Biden doesn't even know where he is half the day. And like, they shuffle him from room to room and then you never see him and you're like, where is he? Does he know where he is? Whatever. And I don't know. I mean, the way he been looking and act like, I could easily see them sitting him in a room with a phone and being like, yeah, it's Iran. And then he's just on the phone all day. Because we know he can talk. He can go. Yeah, he's on the phone the whole day. Yeah, it's Iran. They want to talk to you. He's talking to Iran. That must be what he's talking about at the press conference. Like, we had a great conversation today with Iran. Everybody was there. Iran came. I talked to Abraham Lincoln. He said I was doing a great job. Yeah. Meanwhile, Iran is like, okay, so he wasn't talking to any of us. I don't know. It's crazy. Who would have thought that we would be attacking this country and then they would be sending back to us Lego movies? Like, just wildly, atrociously accurate Lego movie. What? Because you would want to celebrate if the war were really over. When something is over after a long time, and you didn't even know it would be possible, you're so overjoyed. You're so swept up in the celebration that you can like lose yourself in it, and you jump into the streets and you're celebrating with other people because everyone is so happy. Like, I think Trump wants us to celebrate the war being over the way New York celebrated the Knicks. Because at least with the Knicks, we knew that happened. Do you know what I mean? With the Knicks, we're like, yeah, we watched that. No, we know it's over now. This is great. Admittedly, I couldn't make it to the parade. I'm not that big of a man, and I wasn't ready to be trampled. You know what I mean? It's hard to cheer when somebody's stepping on your back. Oh, it was incredible. I remember the night the Knicks won. Okay, so the night they won, I wasn't in New York. I was in Canada, and so I was safe. No, because New York was wildin'. New York was, people, I've never seen people climb that many traffic lights. It takes a level of strength and skill to climb a traffic light, because last time I checked, the traffic light not built for climbing. It's kind of straight forward, up and across. I saw a dude doing pull-ups on traffic light. You know how high stakes those pull-ups are? Oh, people were celebrating. There was a couple of. Here's the thing. I understand some of the celebrations because it's just you're just overwhelmed with joy. There was one person. There were people watching the game on the train, and so when they won, people on the train were losing their minds. And one woman just burst out in the song and had a amazing voice, right? And those are the type of moments that you look back on. You're like, this is just so beautiful. And then there's whatever the group wants to do to a bus. I don't know why it is that whenever a team wins, we gotta wreck a bus. And some of the buses didn't make sense. Here's the thing. If you run out of an arena and there's a bus right there and a bunch of people push it and then it moves a little, it's like, wow, we can do anything together. And then you push again and it moves a little more. And then a couple people join because they're like, oh, they need help. And then you push again. And then you push it so hard that it actually bounces and it teeters back towards you. And that part's scary. But then you push again a little bit harder. And then it tips over. And you're like, yay. You're so overjoyed. You're like, yeah, wow, we knocked over the bus. Never mind, it's your bus home. This is still New York. You take the bus home. That was your bus. I don't know if you saw. It went like semi-viral. They had the parade, where the Knicks went to City Hall and everything, and everybody's in the streets, and it's early too. That's a tough parade to make because it starts at like 10 or whatever. It's like morning, and people are just hammered. And then there was this altercation on a traffic light where this woman had climbed onto the light, and then there was a woman underneath her. I guess she was trying to take a picture. And I don't really know who said what to who, because you can't hear anything because it's so loud, but you see them like going back and forth at each other. And so the woman up here is like talking, and then the woman looking up at her is like talking, and then she, does that. And I don't really know when they had a problem with each other, because that's also just how New Yorkers talk to each other sometimes. It's like sometimes a perfectly normal conversation is like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, but then the woman who was up higher tries to get down. And as she's trying to get down, a lot of people didn't see us at first. There's like 11 angles of this thing. But a lot of people didn't see it. So she tried to get down. And then the woman who was sitting there trying to take a picture pushes her foot, which could have made her fall. And so then the woman climbing down grabs her shirt and just sort of throws her like off the light pole with an ease that was eerie. She threw her so efficiently and quickly. As soon as she put her hand over there, she was over there. She threw her perfectly. And so then that woman falls to the ground and everything, and then that woman immediately gets up and is trying to pull. She pulls at the pants of the woman that was still on the light pole, and pulls and stretches. And it's crazy because the woman's pants stretched so far. And so then she was punching the woman on the butt. She clearly didn't have a plan here. This is an insane thing to do. She grabbed the pants and just punch, but she's just punching the butt. She's just punching the butt over and over again. And so then this woman who's getting her butt punched just starts twerking. She just starts... starts twerking to let her know like she's not even bothered by it. Like she doesn't care that it's happening. And so she just punch it, and like you can tell the punches don't hurt because I can't hear the video. Once again, you still can't hear, but she's punching like she goes, like it's just. And then finally, Yeah, finally, the woman keeps twerking, but then does a twerking split across the barricade, still holding on to the light pole. And then she decides to get down and piece up the woman who was punching her on the butt. And I think that's actually a more accurate illustration of the U.S.-Iran war. Because I do think, I'm starting to think that the Lego videos were Iran twerking in our face.
I'll be honest with y'all though, I've stopped getting mad at white people who just call the cops on black people for no reason. I've stopped getting upset. I've started just retaliating. I just, now if I see a white person doing anything I don't like or understand, which is none of my business but makes me uncomfortable, I just dial those 3 numbers. You know? Well, I'll just be sitting in the park and just like, Yeah, 911. She kissing the dog way too hard. This is absolutely unacceptable. This is all tongue out here. You need to hurry. It doesn't look like the dog into it. Please get here quickly. I'll be at the grocery store. I'll be checking out at the grocery store. And there'll be like a white guy in front of me. But he's not buying any food from the grocery store. He getting those weird non-food items that the grocery store sells. So it'll just be like a belt and a knife. I'm like, yeah, 911, please. He looked like Dama to begin with. Please hurry. I don't like the way his receipt looks. I've started just calling the cops on white people who I think are calling the cops on me. We just have a standoff. I'm like, well, I didn't dial first. She did, okay? Well, send one for her, send one for me, okay? They could just have a standoff. This might be too niche, but did y'all see the drama happening with the people that the movie The Blind Side is based off of? All right, if you don't know the story, I'll bring up to speed as quickly as possible. Basically, The Blind Side is a movie from 2009 where Sandra Bullock won the Oscar for playing the greatest white woman that's ever lived. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it goes Joan of Arc, Amelia Earhart, this lady, okay? And in the movie, she drives up her car to what I can only describe as the biggest black child that's ever been, all right? He is supposed to be in school, but he looked like a 43rd grader. This is the grownest looking kid I've ever seen in my life. She drives up and he's like, huh? But like, his shoulders got bigger when he turned. It was insane. And then she's like, come home with me, which historically, But then he comes home with them, and then they're like, you should play football, and he does, and then he makes it into the NFL because it turns out being big is a huge advantage. But now, Michael Oher, the guy that the movie is based off of, came out and said that he saw no money from the movie based on his life, and what he actually signed when he was a kid, which is when he thought they were adopting him, what he actually signed was conservatorship, so that they could get his money. I know, he thought he was getting a Disney movie, and this nigga got Britney Spears. It's absolutely horrible. And what do you do in that situation? Because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. All the damage has been done. He may never see the money, and it's probably already been spent. You know what I mean? We can't give him his story back. We can't give him back those years he spent trusting them. I think I have a solution, though. All we gotta do is give Michael 2 free tackles. He can use them whenever he wants. I mean, the cost of the medical bills alone will be exactly the money that they stole from him. He's still a huge man. And we won't make a movie, we'll just make 2 TikToks. One for each tackle. And then at the end of the TikTok, you'll just be like, blindsided! I'll be brief because I know people are tired of talking about him. But it does feel weird that Trump is this indicted. Like, goddamn. I thought they get him for something. I think they get him for everything. As someone who doesn't like him, I thought I was following the story pretty closely. And every time he gets indicted, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know he did that one. That's crazy. This man has 91 felony charges. That's more than most gangs. That is absolutely insane. Man, they giving Trump the full nigga treatment. This is crazy. That dude must check his hands every day to make sure they're still white. Just like, how is this happening to me? And this most recent one is the wildest, you know, because if you aren't familiar in Fulton County where Trump was most recently indicted, this is the first place where they said that they want to process him at the jailhouse instead of the courthouse. Because if they do it at the jailhouse, they'll have to do the fingerprint and they'll have to do the mugshot, which is what he's been avoiding this entire time, which is what lets me know that he's not a good businessman. He's not. Yo, if Trump got his mugshot taken and put that mugshot on a shirt, it would be the highest selling shirt of all time, okay? Forget Supreme. This would be the highest selling shirt in the history of people. First of all of his fans would buy it because they'd be like, look, free my dog Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of them would buy it. And then we would also buy it. We'd be like, look at this punk ass on this shirt. Look at this goofy ass on this shirt. Struggling ass on this shirt. He could be printing money, and instead he's, whatever. What a disappointment. He'd make so much money, he'd actually be a billionaire. You know what I mean? I had like a weird memory the other week of this thing happening. I thought I'd share it with you. Like my favorite person to spend time with in the entire world when I was a little kid was my grandma. And everybody knows that I was blessed enough to have grandparents. Grandparents, instant daycare. Anytime your parents got to go somewhere, you're chilling with grandparents, right? So, go everywhere my grandma went. We'd always have a good time. You know? I remember when I was 8, especially my mom was working really hard and everything. And when I was 8, went everywhere that my grandma went, which meant I was going to hella funerals. Oh, my grandmama's squad was falling off. Like it was rough. It was like 2 funerals a week. I was like, how many people do you know? This is crazy. They were dropping like flies. And that was the worst part too, is that when you go to a funeral with some of the same people every time, at a certain point you start to be like, which one of y'all is next? Like, this is getting uncomfortable. I was wearing my little suit out, okay? I remember there was one funeral in particular, one of the more rhythmic funerals that we had been to. Everyone sort of had this unspoken agreement that when we were doing the sort of funeral procession of viewing the body, it was like to the music, you know? You walk up, you get 8 bars to grieve, and then you move on, you know? And I remember it was my turn, which meant it was my grandma's turn. That'd be weird if I had a turn all by myself. That'd be insane. If an 8-year-old kid walks up to a casket by themselves at a funeral, they killed that person, all right? That's just an 8-year-old walking up to be like, just checking. And so I'm about to walk up with my grandma, but as we start walking, we notice that the lady that was still up there hasn't moved. So she's either still thinking or like overcome with emotion. Something's happening, right? So we just keep walking. We don't want to stop mid-aisle, and so we walk up next to her. So now it's this lady that I don't know, my grandma, and me. And I wouldn't look this up until years later because it gave me nightmares for a while, but I didn't really think to Google it yet. Apparently, long after the process has been done for a body to be presented at a funeral, there's still muscles, there's still nerves that can twitch, right? So as the three of us are standing there, the woman in the casket went. And even at 8 years old, I was like, hold it together. Hold it together, stay calm. Whatever you do, stay calm. Because look, I've been going to a lot of funerals, right? But even as an 8-year-old that's going to a lot of funerals, I still haven't fully conceptualized the idea of death, but I know what it's like to ruin a party, you know what I mean? So I was like, just calm down, hold it together. I'm trying to center myself. And then the woman on the other side of my grandma goes, "Wah!" And for a reason I still don't understand, my grandma turned around to the whole rest of the congregation and was like, she moved. And everybody cleared out. We all walked out together. It took so long to calm everybody down. It took so long to get people to come back inside, sit down, chill out. Because there were people outside that were like, nah, I'm not going back in there. No, ain't no reason to grieve if she risen. I ain't playing with that. Y'all can do what you want, but if she up, she up. All right. In fact, she owe me a little something, so when you get in there, tell her that I want my 15 if this was just like a weekend she was playing Bernie. We get back inside, finally calmed down, finally finishing procession, viewing the body and everything. There was this one woman. I know I saw her, but I caught her because I was sitting second row and I was looking in between two people. This woman hesitant, and she was approaching the body, just, you know. And she went, wake up. And even as they were lowering her at the cemetery and they threw the dirt on her, part of me was like, we don't know. We have no idea. I think the other reason that I'm scared of getting older is that, like, we only really value youth, especially in America. You know, other cultures don't always have this problem, and we don't really value what comes with aging. You know, like the wisdom that you get, or the deep level of empathy, because you've now been alive long enough to make your own mistakes and have deep regrets. And so when someone does something to you, it's easier to forgive them potentially because you know what it's like to make a mistake. All that comes with getting older. All your hard work starts paying off when you get older. Everything you do today will, you'll see the fruits of tomorrow, you know? But we still are like, nah, I want to be young. I want to look young. I want to feel young. Act young, whatever. I think the main reason I'm scared of getting older is I finally had a bad fall, and it was like I really felt like an old motherfucker too. It was I went down, like it was terrible. I've been talking all that good shit about Joe Biden this whole time, and then I hit the ground just like him. I was like, because this is the thing, I fought the fall. Like if I had just fallen like a young man, it would have been respectable. I would have tripped, people would understand it, everything. But I fought it all the way down. At one point, I was horizontal, just grabbing stuff like, nonstop, to the point where I actually pulled stuff onto me when I landed. People who didn't know me were like, ooh. I fell so hard, I didn't let anybody help me up. I needed a second to gather myself. You know? There's a little bit more show left. I want to thank all y'all for coming out. My name is Josh Johnson. Have a great rest of the night. I appreciate you. I am excited, genuinely excited to my core, happy for all of my white friends because it's coming. It's coming. Like it's almost. Your New Year is almost here. Like pumpkin season is about to start. And yo, I've never seen white joy. Like, y'all love autumn so much. It's actually the only time that white people get together and just have love and white pride and it's wholesome. You know what I mean? Any other time you're like, oh no. But but autumn, y'all get together and just, who would have known the thing that would capture the white mind would be leaves changing. I'm not gonna lie, that's y'all's hip hop. It really is. Like, yo, leaves changing, y'all are like, hey, that red, go off, cuz. You know what I mean? Y'all are out there apple picking, throwing up gang signs. I've never seen anything like it. Y'all travel. It's autumn where you are, and you'll still travel to where there's better autumn. I've never seen. It's so sweet. It's genuine. Like I am like genuinely happy for white people when like pumpkins, because everybody makes their pumpkin jokes and like pumpkin latte, whatever. But like, let people have something. This isn't hurting anybody, and it makes white people so happy. This whole time, I thought money made white people happy, and no, it is something about Halloween that like. It's the sweetest. I thought I had white people figured out. And then as I got older, I was like, it's really autumn where that's where you see some of the least racism in all the country. Because everybody too busy like, have you tried this pumpkin spice? My man, yeah, get him. This is my other thing. We don't give visionaries enough credit. We think we do because I had a conversation with a friend. They said this quote and it stuck with me where they was like, we only appreciate, visionaries by the time they close their eyes, right? Like we only appreciate visionaries after they're dead, And I was like, nah, we appreciate some of them, but most of them we never end up appreciating. Like, we make a couple of them popular because it makes us feel smart, right? Like, it makes us feel good to be like, Ferdinand Magellan, whatever. And then sometimes we give people as visionaries that weren't visionaries at all. Then the real history comes out and we're like, we gave that dude a bunch of credit. He didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? Like Columbus. How are we still teaching this? This is crazy. We're like, no, he discovered America. He got off the boat and was talking to everybody who was already there. Letting him know he discovered it. You know what I mean? That's how I discover stuff. I just roll up in somebody's house and I'm like, man, this is nice. I'm glad nobody's here. And they're like, excuse me, what are you doing in my house? I'm like, oh, who are you? It's like, I'm the owner of this house. That's debatable. Because what would a conversation between Columbus and the natives even gone like? He gets off the boat and he's like, what are y'all doing here? And they're like, we live here. He's like, oh, hell on that. Look, what do you mean you've been here for generations and generations and you have your own ecosystem and like war and like hierarchy? I just got here, so it's been discovered. And they're like, I don't really think it works like that, dude. And he's like, well, can y'all at least like, I got my boys on the boat. Can y'all at least just go in the woods? So when they get off the boat, it look like nobody here. Like they honestly came so far. They'll be really bummed out if they see you. It's gonna ruin everybody's day. Can you please just go in there? And they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. He's like, I get it. I guess we'll just kill everyone. I know the true part is the saddest part. I know. But it makes me wonder. It's like when you look at visionaries, there are people that we hold up as true beacons, right? That maybe they did some stuff, maybe they didn't, Like I think about I think about with math. We talk about Pythagoras. You learn about him in school, and it makes us feel smart. Like, oh, Pythagoras with the triangles. And don't I know so much? And it's like, no, let's talk about real math. Who made real math? Who made math? We don't know. Who made real math? Somebody had to sit there and be like, this shit is 2. There's just something about it that feels... Yeah, I mean, something about it feel 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see it and it's like, I don't know, it's not... And then they were probably talking to a person. The person was like, what? Nigga, what the fuck is 2? And they were like, well, you know how you're you? Like, you're just you. And they were like, yeah? It's like, yeah, it's just you. So that's like 1 or something. And then this is like, I'm not you. I'm not you at all. I'm like me. So I'm also like a 1, I guess. But then us talking, that's like, that can't still be 1, right? It's gotta be something else. Like, we should just give it a name. And he's like, but what the fuck made you say 2? Like, is something you're stuck in between your teeth? Like, what made you say 2? He's like, I don't know, it just feels like 2. You know, it feels double of what, and they were like, nigga, what the fuck is double? You know? Like, I think about that with things get invented now, they get made now so quickly that it's skipping us. I don't, not only do I not know how my phone works, because of my phone, I don't need to know how things work. I no things anymore. Because I don't need to know anything. I was about to learn directions. I was so close. I really was. Like, I was, you know what I mean? I didn't have my first phone yet, and I was about to learn because I was like, I keep getting lost. I never make it home on time, and I don't have a car, so I'm just always on foot, which thank God, because if you drive in the wrong direction, you're never going to make it home. So I was like, I'm going to learn directions. Like, sooner or later, you need to know what west is. I had no idea what west was. Some people would say, go west. I was like, left or right? Don't hit me with all of this 4 stuff. You know what I mean? And then I got a phone, and on the phone was a compass. So now, I got Google Maps and a compass. I'll never be lost again. I'm good. You know, but it got me wondering, like, who made the compass? Like, we don't make it famous. Who made the compass? But, like, I'm sure there's an answer somewhere, but we don't talk about who made the compass, because that was also probably like a 2-type conversation. Somebody made a compass, and they were like, yeah, this will get you home. And they were like, what do you, it's just pointing, it's moving, it's just pointing randomly. How is that? That's confusing as hell. Is home this way or this way? Keep moving. Why is it moving if it's gonna help me get home? Is it magic? Are you a witch? Are you a witch? Because that's the other thing too. Up until a certain point, you really couldn't be smart without being accused of being a witch. We killed all the smart people. We wonder why people in the medieval times didn't have it better. It's because they murdered anyone with a good idea. If somebody was like, maybe we should wash our hands, it's like, that's a witch. That's a... Oh, get him quick. Get him, all right? And definitely, if you were a smart woman, you were gone. It was just fact. And so they gave him a compass, and he's like, what is it supposed to do? And it's like, it'll get you home. It knows where north is. How does it know? Well, it doesn't know. It uses magnetism. What the fuck is magnetism? It's like, just trust me. It'll point north. You'll be able to get home that way. Please trust me. You'll get home if you just follow it. Because that's the other problem, is that if you invent something, if you're a visionary, you have to make things for people who not only weren't able to make the thing, they might not understand the thing. When Ford was selling cars, right? He used to sell cars like door-to-door style, which had to be a motherfucker. Because then it's like you drove out here to sell the car, right? Even if you make the sale, now you like, bro, can I get a ride? But that's what would happen. Ford
Ford would make the sale, right? And the way that he would make the sale is he would teach people to drive. And when they saw how quickly they were getting places, how easy driving was, they bought the car, you know? Especially if he was going to like a wealthy or even like mid-level class farmer's house or something, because they needed cars the most. You used to have to just, I don't know. Anyway. And that much walking is just beyond me. Anyway. So he would sell the car, and he noted, it's like in his autobiography, not his autobiography, his biography and stuff, about how people were so unequipped for this new idea so deeply that when they were driving the car, instead of hitting the brake, because they didn't understand what brakes were yet, instead of hitting the brake, they would yell, "Whoa," in the car, because they were only used to being on horses, right? Which must have been crazy, because imagine you in a like 1920s car, so already not a safe vehicle by the seatbelts hadn't been invented yet, and the motherfucker is speeding, going, "Whoa!" Whoa! You're like, actually, you need to step over there. You need to step. No, I think about it a lot. How do you truly appreciate like a visionary? Usually we just let them cook. We don't kill them anymore. We don't, unless they're trying to promote peace, and then they gotta go. Those. Yeah. Don't be too good of a person. We'll get you. You know what I mean? But that's it. How do I put this? This is completely unrelated now. I'm moving on. So I don't want you to be confused with like, does this still mean something to the other thing? I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but I think that my face is too friendly. It's really upsetting. Like, you don't understand. Like, I don't even mean to be this way, but I'm like, it's my attitude and it's my face. I just think it's too much. It's like I don't know. Everyone that sees me on the street is like, "You want to talk?" And it's like, and it's very jarring. It's like, some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you have, some of y'all look, I can see good smiles in here. Some of y'all have that smile that makes people go, "I can be a part of your day." And it's the last dude that just saw me, and I just walk around with a sort of half smile, because when I read about it when I was like in my early 20s, I was like reading this book, and it talked about how you should walk around with a half smile, so anytime someone needs a smile, you're halfway there, right? And so then I was like, yeah! And so I adopted it as a person, and so I'm walking around with this half smile. But if you half smile at crazy motherfuckers in New York, that is an invitation. It's not, but it is. They take it as one, even though they should. And so I was just walking, half smile, enjoying my day, enjoying life. And then a dude with just his feet were in buckets. All right? My man's shoes were buckets, okay? I don't even know if he had real shoes on in the but the bucket seemed taut. Like, it seemed like it was sticking to the foot. And he just walked up and he was like, "What's up, young brother?" It's like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing? Because this is also like a black thing that a lot of people don't know about. When you're walking down the street and you see another black guy, the number of brothers he calls you is the situation that you're in. If he goes, "Hey, brother," that's just another black guy. If he's like, hey, brother," he needs something. If he goes, hey, brother," that is drugs. That's drugs every time. No one needs you to call you brother that much unless they're your actual brother, okay? So I'm walking over and this man is like, hey, brother. I'm like, I am in danger, okay? This is a lot, and I don't know if y'all like. I'm being real for a second. I don't know if y'all have ever felt this, but have you ever had somebody try to rob you before? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you feel it before they did anything? Were you like, "Oh, okay, he on some bullshit"? Like this, you know what I mean? Okay. So this man walks up. He's called me brother 17 times. in 6 bucket steps. So he is on one. My man is cooking. He is on one, right? And so he was, and then he walks up, and I can already see from the stance that he got the buckets ready to run in case he needed to run. Like, because he not standing just flat bucket. He got that tip. For those of y'all in the back that can't see, he got his foot like this. So when he need to go, he can go, right? So my man is like this with the bucket. The bucket's like sideways, you know what I mean? And so he's like, do you have the time? And I just looked at him and I was like, yeah, 4:22. And he looked so disappointed. He's like, who just knows the time, right? And I didn't know the time, I made it up. But it seemed like time wasn't really an issue for me. And so then he was like, wow, that was fast, you got a watch? And I was like, no, I just know that it's 4:22. And it's like, oh, did you just look at your phone or something? You got a phone? It's like, why would you ask me if I have a phone, right? So that's when I knew he was gonna try to rob me, right? And so then he's like, you got a phone or something? I was like, yeah, I have a phone. I looked at it 2 minutes ago when it was 4:20. So that's how I know it's 4:22 now. And he made this move. And this is the thing, it takes a crazy person or a brave person to try to rob bare-hand, right? You bare-handed and you bucket-footed. That's not a recipe for success. And so my man he's like this, and he's like, you got a phone or something? I was like, yeah, I have a phone, and looked at it 4:20, you know, everything. And then he's like, give me the phone. And then when he reached and tried to say, give me the phone, he reached for my pockets, right? So he tried to reach for the pocket. I took a step back, and this is when you need shoes. My man started slipping on the bucket. So he's just doing this. He's just like slipping on buckets so hard. And I'm just backing away, but he's skating towards me on buckets. He's like getting closer and closer on buckets. And so then I'm backing up and everything, and he's like, give me the phone, give me the phone! I was like, I'm not gonna give you my phone. And then he got, finally, I had backed up into a wall, so now it's like fighting time, you know what I mean? And so now I'm in the wall, he keeps sliding up to me. He's like, give me the phone, I said give me the phone! And so I just pushed him. And the way he fell back, because basically, it was, okay, you know when Bambi's mom died? Like, you know how sad you felt? This man was trying to rob me, but it took him so long to slip on these buckets that I almost helped him. Like, it was like, because he was like, he was on his own footed roller coaster. And I almost reached my hand, and I was like, no, wait, this nigga tried to rob me. He deserves nothing. And then he fell back, and then I ran, which is crazy. How was he gonna catch up to me if it wasn't downhill? You know what I mean? You all were so great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh.